Something happened Friday, and I want to talk about it because we didn't get a chance to talk about it on Friday's show. Something happened Friday. It was 4 o'clock. I just picked my kid up from school. I come home, and I get a push notification, and it was confusing. It had to do with the NFL gambling policy. So I talked about this on my live stream. I get a tweet from Twitter X or whatever it's called, right, from Ian Rappaport. He's saying that the NFLPA pushed for this updated gambling policy, right? It's not part of the collective bargaining agreement. It's something separate. They pushed for it. I think too many people was getting suspended. So long story short, I see this. I'm like, you know what? I'm about to talk about this. I'm about to go off on the NFL. I'm going to talk about them. Free J-Mo. Within 5 minutes, I get a tweet saying Jameson Williams is free, that his suspension is over today. So he officially today was able to report back to Detroit Lions camp, thus Dan Campbell talking about him in his press conference today. So I got like a couple questions for y'all. Couple questions. 1, do you still think we need a wide receiver with the return of Jameson Williams? 2, how effective do you think Jameson Williams will be against Carolina? A confusing thing was to me is I thought I was very clear on what was happening, but there was a lot of confusion as to what the process was. It was like somebody said I was clickbaiting. Somebody said we already knew this, that Jameson Williams was able to play on Sunday, that he was fully reinstated. I don't understand why that was so hard for me to get across. Maybe I didn't do a good job of doing it, but there is nothing holding Jameson Williams back. As a matter of fact, I think even his hamstring, he's had a month to heal now, actually 5 weeks, because remember, he hurt it in that second game against Carolina. So he should be good to go on Sunday. Robin says, we all celebrated. Free at last, free at last. Can never have too many. I'd imagine he doesn't play that many snaps, says 10. Sure, 2 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Scott says, yes, we do still need a wide receiver. We are good. Run what? What? So here's my thoughts. Jameson Williams got speed, right? Utilize that speed. I would like to see how much he's been working on his hands. He had all the time in the world. Well, once he healed from the hamstring. So let's say he got hurt in the second preseason game, right? Second preseason game, he's hurt. Maybe you can still, with a bum hammy, you can still be on the jugs, right? Was Jameson Williams on the jugs? I don't know. Hopefully he like worked on his catching. But when he comes back, my thing is the boy can run. He might not be able to catch like that yet, but he can sure run. We can incorporate him into the offense somehow. I would like to see that. And it's not that I don't trust Dan Campbell. And again, I have to hear the press conference, but what was told to me is that they're going to bring him in slow. I'm just like, okay, all right. I don't think my expectations are too high for J-Mo. We just want to see him. And we know that he can affect the defense. So if I'm Dan Campbell, he going to play a lot of snaps because just him being out there is going to change the defensive coverage. Larry says, I hope he plays a little since I'll be there. T. Stay says he just got to catch. The NFLPA sent this memo to the agents regarding updated gambling policy, saying the NFL moved on some common sense points, but more changes are needed. These changes reflect a positive yes. That is verbatim what I read today. Derek need to throw... Use him as a decoy like the first game he played. They could do that as well. I think you have them available. You already had some packages for Jameson Williams, right? Before he got hurt, before the suspension even hit, you had some ways you were going to use him when he returned in week 6 or week 7. I'm sorry. We just got a 2-week. It got pushed up 2 weeks. So whatever you had for him week 7, implement it week 5. That's all you have to do. We need to pass more in general. So you think that we need to pass more. Okay, Roman, I see that. I'm going to pin that comment. What's going on? So the question that we're having, if you're just joining us, is Jameson Williams. How much of an impact will he have in week 5? I think you got to put him out there. Putting him out there will be an impact. That's what I think. But I think you got to use him. You got to use him. I hope the way they put him in is not babyish. We need to stretch the field, and he can help us do that. Roman says, I bet he'll play 50% of snaps. So if you get 70 to 75 snaps a game, that means he plays 30 to 35. I can take that. If we go up big versus him early, there's no need to throw. That's what Well, we have to talk about that too. So let me know your thoughts about Jameson Williams. How good is it to have him back, and what impact do you think he'll make on the team?